Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. It is the second half of the two-legged affair between Spurs and Chelsea, where the boys in blue taking advantage of 2 goals to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Both sides coming into this game off the back of wins at home in the FA Cup third round against lower league opposition. In the first leg, Tottenham suffered their second loss under their Italian boss Antonio Conte, and for the former Chelsea manager, it was his first loss to Chelsea in his career. Tuchel, though, has a very healthy record against Tottenham. 5 games, 5 wins, 11 scored, 1 conceded, and 4 clean sheets. These have come as 2 have come as Chelsea manager, and then another 3 have come as Chelsea manager, and 2 have come when he was Dortmund manager, as he knocked Spurs out of the Europa League in the last 16 back in 2016. It is an uphill climb for Tottenham, but can they turn a 2-goal deficit at home around to send themselves back to their temporary home of Wembley, or will Chelsea continue their winning dominance and take a step further to a 3rd title under Thomas Tuchel at Chelsea? We'll have to wait and see. Like I say, Wembley, once Tottenham's home a couple of years ago when they were having a little bit of a delay with their stadium. They are currently at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 3rd largest footballing stadium in England. It is quite something. I've always had a bit of a distaste to it. Something about it I just don't like. I think it's a bit too American, but then that's just my opinion. But then again, it is also made for some American football matches, which should be played here, but COVID, obviously that's been messed up a little bit. But yeah, we are at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. 2-0 to Chelsea after the first leg last Wednesday. Can Tottenham turn it around? They've got Kane up front. They've gone for the big boys. So has Chelsea. They've got a few players back from the first leg. But the main thing that surprises me, Hugo Lloris played the first leg in the full 90 minutes, but this time they've gone for Pierluigi Gallini in net instead. Their second keeper. It just doesn't make much sense. I thought they'd keep their main captain in, but I don't know what's gone on behind the scenes, if the Italians impressed or Hugo Lloris just isn't ready for a full 90 minutes, and maybe if they need him off the bench for whatever reason he can come on. I really don't know, but I'm surprised by that. But we'll go through the teams in a second. Thanks to everyone here. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hope you like the newish setup. I've changed it around a bit. Actually got a bit of a scoreboard going on here instead of it just typed up. So I hope you like that. The aggregate score is obviously the score at the bottom, and then the score for tonight is the one at the top without the brackets. So yeah. Hope you like it. I've tried to change it up a bit, make it look a bit more interesting. There we go. Stream sounds okay as well. Bit of a light display, bit like at Stamford Bridge last week. We also had a light display as well, to get the crowd going, to get the atmosphere rising. I've been to one before. The team I support, and they did a light display, and it does get get you more excited for the game. It entices you in to the occasion of the game, and the second leg semi-final for a final where you are behind, you need to get your fans on board as much as you can, get them involved, want them to follow the team all the way, even though they are at a 2-goal deficit for Tottenham. Not completely full yet. Quite a few empty seats near the top of the stands for Tottenham, presuming Chelsea will bring a full sell-out away crowd. But I'm going to quickly go through the lineups very quickly because I've lost track of time there. In net, I thought we'll go Tottenham first. They've got Pierluigi Gallini, signed from Atalanta in the summer. He is usually second keeper, but he's replaced Hugo Lloris from the first leg. Back 3 of Yaphet Tanganga, who was at fault for both goals last week. He plays alongside Davinson Sanchez and Ben Davies. Eric Dyer still not in the Tottenham squad, recovering from illness and injury. Wing-backs of Emerson Royal and Matt Doherty, who got subbed off at half-time last week, playing a left wing-back role once again, see if he can impress on his weaker side. 2 midfielders, no Oliver Skip-Peas on the bench. They've gone for Harry Winks and like I say nearly every time, the forever present Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, the Danish international. He's in as well. And then the front 3, presuming Giovanni Lo Celso might have a bit of a free roaming role. They've got Lucas Moura on the right, Harry Kane down the middle, and Giovanni Lo Celso, who's just returning from a long-term injury the last couple of weeks. He will play. I put him on the left. He might become part of the midfield, maybe a 3-5-2, or he might float in between Kane, Moura, and then the 4 across the midfield. depends how Antonio Conte wants to use Giovanni Lo Celso. On the bench, they've got Hugo Lloris, Maskim Paskotsi, and the Estonian 18-year-old. He's made the bench. I think he made the bench in the FA Cup as well in the weekend, so he's got a place on the bench. That is Maskim Paskotsi. And then they've got Joe Rodon as well, the Welsh 6'4" centre-back. Harvey White, Oliver Skipp as the two central midfield options. Ryan Sessegnon's made the bench. Still no Sergio Reguilon in the squad. He's still returning from a little bit of illness himself. Dele Alli, Brian Hill, and Dane Scarlett, the 17-year-old born in 04. He's on the bench as well. He's got 5 first-team appearances this season, and he's yet to score. As both teams are in the tunnel currently. They've got the full Tottenham squad waiting, and we're just waiting for the full Chelsea team to come out of their designated dressing room. And then for Chelsea, we've got Kepa Arrizabalaga in goal. Edouard Mendy still out at the African Cup of Nations, but he did sit on the bench for the FA Cup game against Chesterfield. Marcus Bettinelli, for his first Chelsea appearance, was in net for that one. Back three of Antonio Rudiger, Andres Christensen, and Malang Sarr, who had a fantastic performance last week against Tottenham in the reverse leg. Cesar Azpilicueta will play as a wing-back with Hudson-Odoi on the opposite side. Two midfield players who are going to run that engine for Chelsea are Jorginho and Mateo Kovacic. Front three, Mason Mount, Romelu Lukaku, and Timo Werner as well, who's got his first ever Chelsea goal against Spurs last season in the League Cup, where they were knocked out by a penalty shootout at this ground. Then the bench is Marcus Bettinelli. Marcus Alonso's getting a well-deserved rest. He's been playing a lot since the injury of Ben Chilwell. They've still not got a left wing-back they can bring in as cover. They're looking to try and recall Emerson from Lyon, but that's looking a little bit more difficult than expected. Thiago Silva is back from COVID. He's on the bench with Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Kante, also like Thiago Silva, missed the last game against Tottenham due to COVID, but he's back as well. Saul Niguez, I feel like he's hard done by. I think he had a fantastic first leg performance. He's been sat on the bench with Kai Havertz, who got the first goal in the first leg. Christian Pulisic, who is one appearance away from hitting 100 appearances under Thomas Tuchel as a manager. And Hakim Ziyech as well, who had a pretty decent performance against Tottenham in the first leg. He's been rested as he played in the first leg and he played at the weekend. So he's going to get a bit of a rest. And if he was to feature, he would be coming off the bench. And we are close to kick off now, under 2 minutes away. The teams are out. The crowd is ready for another London derby. Both teams going for a 3-4-3 styled formation. Who will come out on top? Chelsea do have the 2-goal advantage already from the first leg. They'll have to use that, defend that well. And they are usually known under Tuchel for their defensive stability. So it'll be hard for Tottenham. It will be, especially how they struggled in the first leg. Is Son out? Son is injured, yes, for around a month. I think he said it was a leg injury, if I'm not mistaken, or some kind of injury. He's out for a month anyway. Heung-min Son. So he won't be featuring for a while. That's why Lo Celso's being used on that left-hand side of front three. Well, we presume anyway. See, I should know why Heung-min Son's not playing. This is poor commentating from me. I should know. I know he's out for a month. Strange injury it was described as. Muscle injury he sustained in the first leg. So Son's out, muscle injury due to the first leg. The referee blows the whistle, if you can hear me, for the game. It'll be Chelsea with kick off, kicking left to right, Tottenham right to left. Be Chelsea with kick off. Lukaku stood with it, plays it back to Kovacic, to Jorginho. It's Antonio Rudiger, Christensen. As Chelsea get us underway. Usually teams from kick-off do like to get it up the field and go long, but Chelsea decide to keep it. Go down the right-hand side towards Lukaku, picked up by Ben Davies, lost by Doherty, brought down by Jorginho, headed forward by Moura, met by Lo Celso, crashes to the ground after a challenge of Kovacic, but it's Chelsea who come out on top with the ball. And they get it back to their goalkeeper, Kepa Arrizabalaga. And we restart. Interesting, Antonio Rudiger is playing in the centre of the back three. He's usually on the left-hand side, but due to having two right-footed centre-backs and a left-footed centre-half, it would make more sense to have the left-footed centre-back on the left. So Rudiger, who usually plays on his weaker left side, which I find strange in the back three, but, you know, it's his preference. It obviously makes more sense for him to be in the centre, but I thought he'd probably be on the right-hand side of the three at the back, but he's in the middle, and Christensen on the right. That's what Tuchel's gone for, is Lukaku's been sent through here on the right-hand side, one-on-one with Sanchez. That battle continues from the first leg. Werner's drifted over to the right-hand side to link up with Azpilicueta. Goes back to Christensen. Yeah, don't worry, dog's not too loud. Okay, good. Thing is, it's not loud on this mic, but it is for me. That door clearly doesn't really block the noise out very well. It's Malang Sarr's being forced back towards Kepa Arrizabalaga. Kane presses, but the Spanish goalkeeper can get it forward, headed back to where it came from by Tanganga, and then volleyed out of play on the right halfway line by Emerson Royal. So yeah, we've got a 2-1 Chelsea, we've got a 3-2 Spurs as score predictions. As Malang Sarr's got the throw in on the left here, finds Hudson-Odoi. Tackle once by Emerson Royal, but picks up the afters and gets it into Sarr. It's now Rudiger. It looks like Chelsea are able to put themselves in a back four as Kovacic gets it through midfield, gets beyond the challenge of Lo Celso and releases it to Hudson-Odoi. Great play on the left, finds the overlap in Malang Sarr, finds him, crosses, good header by Tanganga. Away it goes, it's headed towards Lukaku, but Tanganga didn't allow it. Yeah, it looks like they can play a back four as Malang Sarr being used as a left back, but then when defending they can go into a 3-4-3 as Malang Sarr just about keeps the Jorginho pass in, but his touch is too heavy and Tanganga can clip it forward towards Kane, nods it inside towards Moura, tackled by Azpilicueta, played back by Jorginho, and give a chase back by Christensen as Chelsea restart. Like I say, it looks like it'll be a back four when needs be for Chelsea, with Malang Sarr as the left back, Hudson-Odoi as the left winger. Here he is on the ball, the young Frenchman on loan at Porto last year, as mentioned last week. Malang Sarr, I thought he got my man of the match last week. I thought he was fantastic. Not many first-team opportunities at Chelsea so far, but I thought he took that one really well. Same as Saúl Ñíguez, who makes the bench tonight. The Spanish midfielder on loan from Atletico Madrid. Ball inside, looks for Hudson-Odoi, deflects away from him and finds Davinson Sanchez in the 18-yard box. Plays it across to Tanganga, who then clips it forward towards Kane. Wins it ahead of Rudiger and gets it forward to Lo Celso. Touch beyond Jorginho, but can't get away from Antonio Rudiger. He prods it back to Christensen as Chelsea restart with the ball. And first 3.5 minutes, Chelsea on top with possession, and they'll need that for the majority of the game if they want to see this one out with the 2-goal advantage. Don't want Tottenham having too much of the ball. Don't want them to be settled at home, get their crowd on board. Want to try and keep the crowd as quiet as possible. Christensen along the back line to the German Antonio Rudiger. Azpilicueta, Jorginho flicks it around the corner for Mason Mount, tries to release the Lukaku in behind, caught out quickly by Harry Winks, who just about shifts it away from Mount, but was caught as he released the ball, and it'll be a free kick for Tottenham in their own half on the far left-hand side. Rightly given, as Winks released, Mount went in a little bit late and caught the Englishman, Harry Winks, who's not got a England appearance since November of 2020. England are pretty blessed in the central midfield area, you could say. So it'll be hard for him to get a sniff back in. But maybe some more minutes under Conte could be the trick, but you could argue that Oliver Skipp is probably a better call for England to take to the senior team than Harry Winks. Here's Emerson Royal with a throw-in. It's a long throw-in towards Ben Davies, who's drifted towards the right-hand side. And he takes it out to his favoured left and lays it into Doherty in the Chelsea half. Flicked into the air to Moura, brings it down. Looking for his options on the right-hand side, and you'll find the furthest out there, Emerson Royal. Down the line, Kane's pulled out to the right. Looks for a cross, blocked by Sarr. And he'll fall to Yaphet Tanganga. He just lifts it back into Winks as he gets it away from Timo Werner. Winks driving forward, gets it across to the left to Matt Doherty, who is right-footed, so he'll have to try and get onto his right. He's allowed to, and he shifts it over towards Mora. Ball into Lo Celso, first time looking for Doherty in behind, blocked by Chelsea, but falls back to the Argentine, to the Dane Højbjerg, now with Mora on the edge. Winks forward, caught up from behind, Lo Celso, yes he is. Aggressive defending as Lo Celso received the ball with his back to goal, and Christensen came in from behind to add early pressure. Missed the ball and brought down Lo Celso, and Andre Mariner, the referee for tonight's game, deems it a foul. Yeah, just a little nudge in the back to take down the Argentine. Good play from Tottenham. Definite foul, pushed him in the back. In a good area for Tottenham to get a shot on goal, and if they want to turn around this deficit, an early goal would be the right way forward, as tonight's captain Harry Kane is stood over it. It's in a nice area towards the left-hand side of the box. See what kind of distance it is. It's quite close to goal. It was just on the edge. When we get the angle of it, let's see how far away this actually is. It'll have to be a strong wall from Chelsea. Brave. Harry Kane's the man over it. Around 22 yards out. It's perfect range. Harry Kane shoots, tries to go under the wall, blocked, falls back to Kane, back heels it into Doherty. Can he look for a cross? Goes to Højbjerg, then out wide to Doherty, who's made a bit more space on that left-hand side. Tries to get beyond Lukaku, tackled by the Belgian, and it'll be a corner kick, goal kick for Chelsea. As Lukaku tackled, he must have kicked it off Doherty's foot last, and it rolled for a goal kick. So it'll be a goal kick for Kepa. Let's have a look here. Kane with another poor free kick. If you remember in the first leg, he had one in the start of the second half from a really good distance, and he didn't do very well with it at all. As Tottenham come forward again, with Doherty being found on the left, always looking to get it on his right foot. Goes back towards Ben Davies, number 33. Harry Winks. He fancies a left-footed ball towards the edge of the box to Mora, who's peeled away from the box to create some space for Tottenham. They work it back out wide to Winks. Patient play from Tottenham, but that's a misplaced ball straight to Jorginho, who gets away from the tackle of Winks and finds Mount, who wants to switch, but it's well intercepted and headed away by Højbjerg for a throw-in on the halfway for Chelsea. Counter-attack could have been on there for Mason Mount and Chelsea, but like I say, Højbjerg getting his head in the way of the pass. Højbjerg has made a League Cup final back with Southampton. And they were beaten by Jose Mourinho's Manchester United. I remember Zlatan Ibrahimovic being a main part of that thing. He ended 3-2 in the end. So with Chelsea, with Rudiger on halfway, clips it forward, looking in behind for Lukaku. Had to be headed away by Sanchez. Only finds Werner, who sees Galini off his line and lobs it over the bar. Decent attempt from Werner. Clever play. The ball was clipped in behind by Rudiger towards Lukaku. Galini had come for it just in case Sanchez failed to head it away, and as he headed it away to Werner, he saw that Galini had just made a few yards off his line, went for the dink over the bar, tried that in the first leg. Timo Werner in the second half had a chance to lob Lloris and got it all wrong, and it hit the arm of Lloris as he saved. Mora heads it into the sky towards Lo Celso. Bullies Jorginho off the ball, but he's got his teammate of Christensen to come in and take the ball away from Tottenham and set Chelsea away on the counter-attack. Slow it down with Hudson-Odoi on the left. Back to Malang Sarr. Then with the German Antonio Rudiger. One of few defenders for Chelsea missing, especially in the last few weeks. They've had a lot of defenders missing, but he seemed to be ready, fit and ready to play despite the contract dispute currently going on with him and Chelsea. He's not signing a new deal and he'll be available on a free at the end of this season, with the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Manchester United all interested in the German signature. Sarr, poor touch tackle by Lo Celso. Will be a throw-in for Chelsea despite the Argentine wanting it his way. So the Frenchman throws it back to Rudiger as Chelsea restart once again. A healthy victory for Chelsea, put out a strong team against Chesterfield at the weekend. I did watch the game. They were always going to beat the fifth-tier side Chesterfield as Rudiger looks for Lukaku again. He's brought it down this time. Boys, Davies off the ball. Shoots. Good save by Galini. Bounces off Sanchez. Can't avoid the corner. And that time it worked. Rudiger really likes that ball in behind. He's seen Lukaku lose his man a few times now. That one was a perfectly timed one, offside. He wasn't. Got it in behind. Bullied Davies off the ball. Got the left-footed shot away. Really good save in the end by the Italian. Had to be strong because I wouldn't like a full blast Lukaku shot hitting my stomach, but he took one for the team, like he should. It's his job. And avoids a Chelsea goal, which would have put them 3 goals to the good overall in the leg and in the tie. Mount, outswinging ball, headed away by Moore at the near post. Met by Jorginho. Falls to Hudson-Odoi. Falls back to Kovacic. Lukaku clearly wants a goal. Got one at the weekend against Chesterfield. Jorginho. On halfway, just about backheels it into Rudiger as he was pressured by Højbjerg. Christensen down the right channel, looking in behind for Mount. Not the greatest of balls, asking a lot of the young Englishman, and it fall all the way back to Pierluigi Galini. 10th appearance of the season, obviously backup goalkeeper. He did get a lot of minutes in the Europa Conference League, obviously because they had to go through qualifiers and then the group stage, which they're knocked out of now due to not being able to fill their game against Stade Rennais. Lukaku plays it into Kovacic, doing his usual role. Lukaku holding it up, linking the play, but they have lost it with Mason Mount. But then they've won it back with Jorginho intercepting the ball forward. Back to halfway to Christensen, forward to Kovacic. I love how excited you get. It gets me hyped. Yeah, I don't know. It's natural. I don't even force it. Just when the team gets forward and a chance is created, it just brings excitement as Kovacic clatters into Lo Celso. In fairness to the Croatian, the ball was there to be won, but he's definitely not won the ball. He's missed the ball and clattered right into the Argentine. Don't think it'll be a yellow card. Emerson Royal got the throw in, threw it quickly into Lo Celso. Ball was there to be won. Lo Celso got there first, kicked it away from the Croatian, and then got caught by the right elbow of Kovacic. It'll be a sore one. He's back up though. Lo Celso, the former PSG man. And we're back underway with Tottenham in possession and within their back line. But yeah, no, I'm glad it gets you excited because, I've got to make the game as exciting as possible, even though it can be a bit boring. But this one's got off to a good, lively start, and it's going to continue with Moura making a fantastic run. Fancies a shot from afar, but that's nothing to get excited about. It's about 5 yards wide by Moura. Didn't catch it correctly. A roll for a goal kick for Chelsea. Got it in his own half, turned away from Mount, got away from him with his electric pace, and then Chelsea defenders just backed off. Got the poor shot away, but I think Rudiger is making the argument to Christensen and Azpilicueta, saying, come on, close him down, don't back off so easily. Because Lucas Moura can hit them. Good little player, Lucas Moura. I think he's a little bit underrated. Got great work rate, good work ethic. Oh, Chelsea trying to play out from the back, and it's been lost by Mason Mount. Drilled ball into Harry Kane on the edge, shot blocked by the Dane of Andres Christensen. But it will fall out to Emerson Royal on the far right. Inside it goes to Lo Celso. Gets away from the challenger Kovacic this time, instead of getting met by the strong challenger, the Croatian, as they lose out here, and Lukaku can get away on the right. Followed by Sanchez, tries to get beyond the Colombian, kicks it off the Colombian as he reads the Lukaku move, works it back to his goalkeeper, Galini, who gets pressured by Lukaku, just about shifts it to Ben Davies. In the left-back area, we've got it with Doherty, who's not been able to keep that in. Poor pass from Sanchez, and Chelsea could push up the pitch and get a throw-in within the final third. Yeah, clattered right into him, yeah. That makes sense. Clattered, like you go right into him. I don't know if that's just a thing I know. Clattered right into him. Yeah, that pretty much means he's just smashed into him. Which he did. Azpilicueta, another throw-in, tackle by Winks. You do feel like Tottenham do need a goal in this first half at least. I feel like if they don't get one in this first half, I think it just invites Chelsea more to get a goal themselves, I think. Christensen, back to Jorginho. So we'll restart and go across the back line to Antonio Rudiger on halfway. Finds Jorginho playing like a deep line playmaker role, looking for the balls in behind. Goes short this time to Christensen, who will bring it forward, then falls back after being pressured by Doherty and Lucas Moura. Jorginho forward to Lukaku, rolls it in behind for Werner, gets there ahead of Sanchez in the box on the right, pulls it back towards Hudson-Odoi, misses out, but it falls all the way to Sarri, shoots as well. Good block by Lo Celso, and he'll let it roll for a corner. Malang Sarr and Giovanni Lo Celso square up there. I do like this Malang Sarr. He's got a bit of an attitude to him, but a good one. He's feisty. Good ball from Lukaku to roll Werner in behind. Got the better of Sanchez, pulled it back. Hudson-Odoi, I think, got a touch on it, but played it right across the Sarri, had a shot. And then it was blocked by Lo Celso, who then gave the corner away. A chance here for Chelsea. Who will be taking it? Will be a mountain swinger. Yes, it will be the number 19. She'll be getting a little bit of abuse there from the Tottenham supporters behind him. One of them is using a Spider-Man jumpsuit. Not the usual clothing to wear at football games. It's a good in-swinging ball. It had to be headed out with by Harry Kane towards that near post. Fall to Hudson-Odoi. He'll play it back to Malang Sarr. Across to Azpilicueta. Just on the halfway line. Malang Sarr. Fall to Hudson-Odoi. We know he's got some tricks, but he'll go for this basic pass down the line towards Werner. Keeps it alive and gets it back to Hudson-Odoi. He's on his right foot. He can work across. Helped all the way towards Azpilicueta. Tackled by Doherty, the Irishman. Plays it forward to Lo Celso on the edge. Tries to get beyond Jorginho. Loses out. Good tackle by the Italian. Falls to Lukaku. Azpilicueta. Across to Kovacic. On the edge. We know he can hit them. Goes once more to Werner. Right-footed shot. Deflects again. Another corner. Werner has scored here before. The Champions League semi-final first leg. It was a penalty kick given away, I think, by Ben Davies, if my memory serves me right. I know there's a Premier League game on as well, one of the rescheduled ones. I'll keep you up to date with that. It is West Ham Norwich, and it's currently 0-0. Mason Mount again. Opposition fans are recording him taking a corner. I don't really agree with that one, but it's a good in-swinger again. Not dealt with by Galini and headed home by Antonio Rudiger. It's not the first time he's netted at this ground this season. He scored in the 3-0 win they got here earlier on at the start of this campaign, and he's got another one here. He puts his team 3-0 up on aggregate, and that is surely enough now to see Chelsea through to a League Cup final. The keeper comes for it, and in that situation, the keeper's got to make it. He didn't. It was another great in-swinging ball by Mount. Got the height, the whip, right on the 6-yard line. Rudiger lost his man of Yaphet Tanganga. The keeper came, punched thin air, and it came off the back of Antonio Rudiger's head, off the bar, nestled into the back of the net. Good brave attacking from Antonio Rudiger to put it where it could have hurt, because if Galini's fists went into Rudiger, then that could have hurt, but in the end his fist, like I say, just reached into thin air, landing on the back of Rudiger's head, and he gives Chelsea a lead, 17 minutes in, Tottenham 0, Chelsea 1, 3-0 on aggregate, and like I say, it is a real mountain to climb now for Antonio Conte's team. So let's change the scoreline. 1-0 on the night. 3-0 on aggregate. Like I say, I hope you like the scoreboard. Look at that. Professional. There we go. Nice one. As Tottenham do have the ball at the restart. One back by Azpilicueta. Mount to Jorginho. You can look forward to Mount again. Tackled strongly by Højbjerg, but fairly. The touch goes to Kovacic. Clattered is the most northern word I've heard you say. Well, I am from the north, so I will have some of that vocabulary in me. But yeah, I always use it when it's a really strong challenge, and like you can kind of feel the connection, even though it's not obviously you receiving it. You're just like, oh, clattered into him there. It's like Christensen's clattered into Lucas Moura, but the referee just looks down at Moura as he's on the ground and tells him to get up. Chelsea just seem more on it. They want it more hungry. Thank you. I appreciate that you like the scoreboard and the time. I just thought I'd change it up. Just thing is, with the lineups and my face cam, I think it's just too perfectly played. I don't think it needs moving, to be honest. I think it works well. Home team on the left side, away team on the right, and me in the middle. But I just wanted to change like the things around. So I appreciate that you like it. Tottenham, Højbjerg towards the edge of their 18-yard box, has to go across to Yaphet Tanganga. Finally, a goal. I say finally, a goal's not his fault. I think Antonio Rudiger was his man. So you could say Tanganga's at fault again for all three. Gave the ball away for the first goal. Headed it onto the shoulder of Ben Davies for the second. Ben Davies not at fault. He could have headed it anywhere, but decided to head it where his man was. And then I think he's just lost his man over Antonio Rudiger, so we'll have to see a replay of this goal tonight, but I think it was Tanganga's man. So not a great Carabao Cup semi-final for the young Englishman. He has got a lot of potential though. Yaphet Tanganga did make appearances in the under-21s Euros back in March 2021. Kane sees a ball in towards the box for Emerson, who went for it. Headed behind in the end by Callum Hudson-Odoi. Tracked his man all the way into the box. Good defending from the usual attacking-minded winger to head behind for a corner. Bit of a nothing ball by Kane. Kind of put it into an area where he knew Emerson Royale could get to and challenge for the ball, but he was never like he was going to head that into the net. It'd have to be one hell of a header to beat Kepa from that cross. As a Tottenham corner, as they need to somehow try and get back in this game. Lo Celso in swinger with that left foot, headed on and behind by a Chelsea man. Not quite sure who it was, but it was enough to get it behind everyone and for a throw-in on the opposite side for Matt Doherty, the number 2. Spent 10 years of his career at Wolves from 2010 to 2020. Was linked to a move back in January, but that doesn't seem to have materialised yet. As Lucas Moura was looking inside for a man, and he could only find Lukaku. That's a wasted opportunity in the Chelsea half. They got men forward, but lost out in the end. Don't go mentioning the Euros. No, let's not. I had an incident, actually. It's quite funny. It was a few months ago now. I was in Sports Direct, and I was buying a Juventus away shirt because it was nice. It was this season's away one, I think. And it was like up above and you couldn't grab and get it. So you had to ask one of the staff to get like one of these poles and get it by the hanger and pull it off. And I'm presuming she was Italian because she went, "Oh, right, Italy shirt, like Juventus." So I went, yeah. It's like, she just went, "We beat you in the Euros." I was like, "Oh, what? That was rubbish customer service. Making me sad." So yeah, that was quite funny. I was like, "Oh, I should have bought a different shirt, not a Juventus one." But yeah, she just went, "We beat you in the Euros." I was like, "Oh, cheers, thank you." That was not needed. So yeah, we won't mention the Euros, but we will mention the World Cup when we win it at the end of this year. I'm joking. I'll take a final though. As we get back to the game, Hudson-Odoi is charging around the left, one-on-one with Harry Winks, takes it on his right, edge of the box, shoots. It's a good, strong left hand by Gillini. Parries it behind for a corner. Matt Doherty tried to keep it in, but was too late to it. But a good save by Gillini, who was also technically at fault for the goal. Mistimed his punch. Good save though. By the Italian, 26 years of age, on loan until the end of the season with an option to buy. Presumably he will be the one to replace the soon-to-leave, surely, Hugo Lloris at the age of 35 now. He's been at Spurs for coming up to 10 years in the summer. Mason Mount has already got 1 assist with a corner from the opposite side. Can he deliver a same quality ball from the opposite side? It's a good one. It had to be volleyed away by Højbjerg. Rudiger was getting towards that one. So he's well cleared by the Dane of Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Does have 1 win in 5 away at Chelsea, and that was with Southampton. So didn't have a great record away playing at Stamford Bridge, and that showed last week. But like I say, Højbjerg's always consistent when I watch him. You know, in this Tottenham team, when sometimes it can be a bit flat and slow, he always tries to get them going as Werner receives it on the left of the box, pulls it back towards Hudson-Odoi, gets the touch there. Tackle by Højbjerg, well played by the midfielder, and Tottenham have to clear with Doherty on the edge of the 18-yard box. Closed down by Aspilicueta, and he blocks his pass, and it'll fall to Andres Christensen, and Chelsea can come again in the Tottenham half. Gets it out wide to Aspilicueta. He's got his fair share of assists in the Chelsea shirt. He's got 56 in total. But no room for a cross, so they're forced back into their own half with Antonio Rudiger. The man with the goal, like I say, scored in the fixture at this ground in the Premier League earlier on this season. He's got 2 goals in the Premier League this season. They've both come in 3-0 away wins. One was at Leicester, and the other, obviously, at Tottenham. Made me laugh. Yeah, well, it did make me laugh when I walked off. I was thinking, have I just heard that? Did she actually just say that to me? But yeah, I need to do a football shirt collection video because I've got loads. Majority of the ones that like, team I support, but I have a lot of like just random ones. I'll try and make that a video if I can be bothered. We'll have to see. Chelsea are in possession. Kepa on the ball. Goes out wide to Antonio Rudiger. No real pressure from Kane. Can clear it down the left channel, and it will be Werner to give chase, and he will get there first ahead of Yaphet Tanganga. Back to goal, pulled down by the young Englishman, then caught by him, and that will be a free kick. And I thought maybe the flag had stayed down for a possible offside, but no, it was just a silly challenge by Tanganga. Pulled the German. I don't know why he pulled him down, because no one was in support of the German, because he'd caught the offside trap, got him behind, and he'd have to wait for teammates to come and support, and they weren't there yet. Soft challenge from Tanganga. He's really struggled in these two legs against Chelsea, home and away. And a free kick on the left-hand side of the box, towards the corner of the box. It'll be Mount to get a crossing or maybe even a shot. We know Mount's dangerous from these crosses. They've got Lukaku in the box, Antonio Rudiger, Malang Sarr, all in there with Timo Werner as well, and Andres Christensen. Be Mount from the free kick. Over the wall, headed away by Mora, up towards Mount again, who heads it back towards Hudson-Odoi, who brings it down and gets it back into Mount. Good play from Hudson-Odoi. Mount, right-footed cross again, headed away by Emil Højbjerg. As far as Malang Sarr, who brings it down with a touch to Hudson-Odoi, and then gets the return and gets it across to Azpilicueta. Chelsea, the dominant side, and they have been for the entirety of this cup tie. I need to head off over that. That is absolutely fine. Like I say, if you are new, just please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hudson-Odoi. Halfway with Jorginho. It's now with Kovacic. He sees a switch on towards Werner on the right, and he finds him and he nods it down for Lukaku. Good play by Chelsea. Patient, but worthy, because they are succeeding with a 1-0 lead. 3-0 in aggregate. They're dominating possession, especially the last 10 minutes. They've had 76% of it. Jorginho sweeps it across to Malang Sarr. Down the line to Hudson-Odoi. Gets on his right foot. And then just pokes it back to Malang Sarr. It's now Kovacic. Across to Christensen. Forward to Azpilicueta. Inside to Jorginho. Once more to Kovacic. Jorginho again. Sees it. A ball through to Mount. He gets there at a Doherty. Tackled by Davinson Sanchez. He kicks it off the Englishman. It falls to Emerson Royale, who can't head away. Hudson-Odoi. Sarr. Edge of the box. Kovacic. Forward to Jorginho. Out wide to Hudson-Odoi. Goes the long way round. Can't find space for a cross. So passes it back to Sarr. Ball forward and through to Werner. Takes it on the turn on Tanganga. He has to poke behind for a corner. And Chelsea nearly in for a second there on the night. That was a really good ball in behind by Jorginho towards Mount. He got ahead of Doherty, but then Sanchez came over and kicked it off the Englishman, and then it deflected towards the opposite side of the box to Emerson Royale, who failed to head away properly, and that's when Chelsea could get back on the attack, and from the attack they've won a corner. Just shows the levels and the difference in quality between these two sides currently. Last corner in this area was a goal. Mount in swinger. Can he replicate? Ball in similar area, but this time met with a header from Harry Kane. Be recycled and returned back forward by Hudson-Odoi. He drills it towards Christensen on the opposite side. He gets there and he helps it in towards the box, and it's collected by Galini. Really good find though by Hudson-Odoi. Nice technique. A drilled pass along the ground, and it got to Christensen as it avoided the left leg of Ben Davies, who tried to intercept. Can Tottenham get a bit of possession and maybe create a chance of their own? Because if they want to take this, I think it's to extra time. They'll need to score 3. Højbjerg sees Emerson Royale. I think he's offside. He is offside. Came back from an offside position as the ball was played over towards the right-hand side. The Brazilian clearly not happy with that. Emerson Royale was a substitute. Didn't come on though in the Copa America final in the summer. Man who came through the youth of Sao Paulo. Emerson Royale. With Christensen in the 18-yard box for Chelsea as they work it away from their goalkeeper. Aspilicueta. Back to Kepa, who just about clears ahead of the press of Lucas Moura. Up towards Lukaku. Doesn't win the header on Davinson Sanchez, and it will drop to Davies. To Winks. Lo Celso. Davies. Højbjerg. Lo Celso. One of few creative players on the pitch for Tottenham. Yaphet Tanganga is bringing it forward from the right centre-half role. It's now with Lo Celso. Winks. Moura flicks it around to Højbjerg. Good play. Works out wide to Doherty in the box on the left. Pulls it back towards Kane. Can he work a shot? Blocked by Christensen. Will clear to the edge of the box to Højbjerg, who shoots deflected, and it helps it wide. Højbjerg coming close. I would have liked to have seen where that was going without the deflection. Kane tried to get a shot away. Came off Christensen, who could only clear as far as Højbjerg on the edge. Tried to wrap his foot around it, get it towards the far post. But it was deflected wide. Celso in swinger in that 6-yard area. Helped on towards Kane, and he just about misses it. You feel like that was the chance. The chance that they needed to take to try and mount a comeback. Lo Celso with a lovely ball in towards the 6-yard area. Flicked on by Davinson Sanchez to the far post. Aspilicueta lost his man. And Kane just missed it by a whisker. So close for the Tottenham captain tonight. Master Bros 3-0 Chelsea win. Okay. That could definitely happen. I can definitely see that. Tottenham only look dangerous in tiny segments. But Chelsea just look like the more confident side. Doherty. Forced back to his goalkeeper. Galini. Tanganga. To Emerson Royal. Forward to Lo Celso. Heavy touch given away to Lukaku on the edge of the box. Tackle by Tanganga up towards Kane. Loses out to Antonio Rudiger. And again, Chelsea on the ball. Kane just struggling to hold it up there on his own up front. Kovacic works out wide to Callum Hudson-Odoi. Tottenham back in position to defend. And to hopefully not concede a 5th goal of the tie, because that would make a 4th goal of the tie, because I think that would completely kill it off. There's the neutral. That's not what we want. Kovacic just using this left-hand side currently as the way forward for Chelsea. On the halfway line with Antonio Rudiger. Jorginho out wide to Malang Sarr. It's now found Kovacic. Sees ball through towards Mount. That lane has been cut out by Tanganga. To Lucas Moura. Holds it up towards Lo Celso. Too heavy of a pass. And too heavy of a touch. And it gives it back to Chelsea. And they've already zipped it out wide left to Werner. He'll run it. Yaphet Tanganga. Right-footed cross he wants. And he will deliver towards Lukaku, who heads wide. Difficult chance that for Lukaku to get it on target, but he did get his head on the ball and diverted it just wide. The 28-year-old Belgian. Good positive play though there by Werner. Crossed it in. And you feel like Lukaku's always going to get the better of Ben Davies in an aerial battle. As Moura does flick on, winning the battle against Christensen aerially. But he only falls as far as Aspilicueta, who worked back to the keeper, Kepa. Hudson-Odoi. Loses out to Tanganga, well defended by the youngster. As Tanganga stayed down after a collision with Hudson-Odoi. And they've lost it here, Tottenham. Rudiger, the goal scorer for tonight. He's made it 1-0. 7 minutes to go before we find out if there is any added on time. Kovacic through to Aspilicueta. And across to Kovacic in the Chelsea half. Chelsea ought to build forward and get into the Tottenham half, which they've done with Malang Sarr. Forward to Werner. Kicked off Lo Celso and it falls back to Emerson Royal, who's then tackled by the German Werner. And he keeps it in and he gets beyond Emerson Royal and then plays back towards Sarr And eventually the ball goes out. I thought, no, it doesn't. Stays in play. Jorginho, ball through to Lukaku, holds it up, touched into Mount, back to Lukaku, dealt with by Sanchez on the edge of the 18-yard box, and Lo Celso's fouled from behind by Malang Sarr. Tottenham can breathe a little bit. Like I say, an aggressive defender, Malang Sarr, did get a booking in the first leg. So they see Lloris on the bench for this one. Highlighting the goalkeeping error. I'm back, that's good. Back, didn't miss anything. But yeah, he went for it, Galini, and just went off the back. Was it the back of Rudiger or the back of his head? Anyways, his eyes weren't facing the goal when he got it towards goal. As Emerson Royale's been found in behind. That's a really poor shot. And he gets jeers from the travelling supporters. He got found in behind there on the right. Don't know if it was a shot or a cross, but it was well worked by Lucas Moura. Look at Celso. Caught Chelsea behind there. Hudson-Odoi went to sleep. That's Jorginho. Oh, what a load of green grass to run into for Hudson-Odoi. He's been found on the left here in the final third. Harry Winks is covering on that defensive right-hand side for Tottenham, but they've got it inside to Kovacic. 1-2 with Timo Werner. He goes back to Rudiger. No need to rush for Chelsea. They've got the 3-goal advantage in this tie. They don't need another goal, but I'm sure they'd like it if the opportunity came. Just playing around with it here, Chelsea. Tottenham not really pressing well. But then when they do press, they've won it back with Harry Kane. Fell back to Lo Celso. Tries to get a ball forward towards Lucas Moura, just a bit behind the Brazilian. Picked up by Christensen, and he'll be driven forward here by Mount. Lays it off into Jorginho. Out wide to Hudson-Odoi. Sarr's getting forward on the overlap. Doesn't use him. Back inside to Kovacic, who scored that worldie against Liverpool. For Chelsea. A couple of weeks ago now. Hudson-Odoi. Back to Kovacic. It's been such a good performance so far from Chelsea. Ball down the right channel from Azpilicueta towards Mount. Loses out to Ben Davies and Sanchez will bring it away. Lays it off into Doherty. Winks around that corner to Kane. Gets out of Azpilicueta. Back into Winks and he's pumped it up towards absolutely no one in the Chelsea half. There's no white shirts there able to chase it down, and it'll be calmly dealt with by Kepa. And there is a former Atletico Bilbao man, Kepa Arrizabalaga, trusted with the ball currently. And he goes on the edge of the box to Kovacic as they easily breach the lacklustre Tottenham press. There's like no energy in it. It's like Tottenham don't care. They do care when they win the ball in that position. Lo Celso threads it through to Kane in the box. Easily brushed to the ground by Antonio Rudiger. And again, Chelsea fans are buzzing with that. Bullied off the ball there, the English captain. Just losing it though a few times recently, Chelsea, in the last few minutes with sloppy passes in midfield, allowing Tottenham to try and get them on the break. Malang Sarr drives forward into the Tottenham half, pushed down to the ground by Lo Celso. I was going to say that has to be a foul. Pushed in the back by Giovanni Lo Celso. Yeah, Harry Kane just brushed off the ball by Rudiger well too easily. Hudson-Odoi back to the halfway to Rudiger as we restart play. Azpilicueta looking for Mount, picked up by Davies. Moura gets it quickly into Kane. He's got a runner off him, and that's Højbjerg charging forward, trying to get him behind. He's received it. Rudiger with the challenge. He mistimes it. And that's a penalty. Antonio Rudiger got the better of Harry Kane the first time, but he couldn't nick the ball off Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And the goal scorer for the only goal of the game gives away a penalty. I have an inkling, and so do the Chelsea players. I think that might have been on the edge of the box. Andre Marin has deemed it a penalty, but VAR is being used, so we will check. Højbjerg, though, telling you, he's always energetic. The challenge is putting on the edge. Oh, he's well on the edge of the box. He falls in the box, but he gets clipped well on the edge. No chance that'll be given as a penalty. That'll be overturned. Ooh, that's a different angle. Let's have a look. So he makes the challenge, quite an aggressive one. On the edge. I think he's clipped in the box, from a different angle. The first angle, I thought that was going to be a free kick. But from the second angle, I think he goes down for the challenge outside the box, but by the time he actually clips Højbjerg, he's in the box. Let's have a look. That's not contact. No contact there, no contact there, no contact there. Still no contact. And Højbjerg trips himself. That is not a penalty. Antonio Rudiger actually ends up missing Pierre-Emile Højbjerg completely. Does he maybe catch Højbjerg's left foot with the side of his body? Maybe. Not intentionally. Just that the movement of Højbjerg's left leg just brushes the side of Antonio Rudiger's body. That's light contact. And does he catch him with the right boot there? As he enters the box. No. I think Emile Højbjerg trips himself up here. Definitely not a penalty for me. But I'm not the one in charge. And the people in charge do like to get things wrong. It is Mike Dean on VAR. So he's the one having a look at this. VAR will overturn the penalty decision and will just opt for the free kick. I think in that circumstance, because the referee's given a foul, I don't think VAR can overturn it. So it's just no foul and maybe a drop ball. So a decision was made. The contact that was made in the box. Antonio Conte is furious, but I don't understand. When Rudiger doesn't catch it. He misses him completely. I don't know why the Tottenham players are so furious. When Højbjerg goes to the ground, it's because he's tripped himself up. And that's on the white line on the edge of the box. There's the slightest bit of contact, like I say, when Højbjerg's left foot just brushed the side of Rudiger when he was on the ground trying to make the challenge. But for me, I think that's just the right call. A free kick on the edge. Because even, like I say, that bit of contact from Højbjerg's foot to Rudiger's side, that's on the air. That's outside the box. And when Højbjerg eventually goes down because he's tripped himself up, he's on the white line of the box, which would be a penalty if it was contact by Antonio Rudiger. So after a little bit of confusion, we've got to a decision, and there's a free kick for Tottenham just on the right-hand side of the box, right on the edge. This is literally about 19 yards out, even 18 and a half yards out. It's more for a left footer, and Giovanni Lo Celso stood over it. You feel like before half-time, Tottenham could really do with this going into the back of the net. They're 3 goals down. They could cut that to 2. Waiting for the whistle from Andre Mariner. It'll be Lo Celso. He gets it. Oh, I thought he was going to get it over the wall, but it was just flicked over the bar by the defender of Antonio Rudiger, who was just able to jump high enough to head it over the bar. Yeah, he was just in the air long enough to get contact on it. And it's a corner. Those free kicks are ones where they're a bit too close to get it up and over the wall. It's a hard thing to do. But could they score from the corner at least? Lo Celso headed away up towards Doherty, but it's been helped on by Timo Werner, who will look for a ball in behind, but there's no blue shirt in sight. That'll run all the way back to Emerson Royale in the Tottenham half. Chelsea do defend. Tottenham don't score, but Tottenham could come again if they move it quick enough. Now Winks in the Tottenham half. Chelsea back in structure. Their usual structure. Tottenham have to try and break it down again. 15 seconds until we find out how much additional time there'll be, especially after that VAR check. Ben Davies drives forward on the left, lays it off into Doherty, works onto his right foot, but there's no one in the box for him to aim for, so he has to go to Lucas Moura, and then he plays it across to Winks. Out to Emerson Royale. Got a few bodies in the box now of Moura, Doherty and Kane. Tries to take on Hudson-Odoi, can't. Tackled by the young wing back for tonight's game, and he clears down the left-hand side with his left foot, only as far as Winks, but it's good defending from Hudson-Odoi. Winks crosses, prodded away by the studs of Christensen, only as far as Ben Davies, who fancies a strike himself from around 22 yards out. He's never going to score, and it goes wide of the post. Selfish from Ben Davies, who got an own goal in the first leg. Couldn't do much about it. His teammate just headed it off his shoulder, and he couldn't really move out the way quick enough. Thomas Tuchel watches on, and even though he's not showing much emotion, he'll definitely be happy. That's for sure. Thomas Tuchel. First leg of the other Carabao Cup semi-final is Liverpool, and they play Arsenal at Anfield. Doherty heads it forward, beats Lukaku to it. It's towards Kane, headed away by Christensen, towards Højbjerg, who heads back to his own defender of Davinson Sanchez. Hooked away by Ben Davies, towards Kane, dealt with by Rudiger. He'll fall to Andres Christensen in the right back area of the pitch. Clips it forward up towards Lukaku. Dealt with by Sanchez, not very well though. But Ben Davies spares the blushes as he wins it back off Mount and works it out to Emerson Royale. 3 minutes added on. We've already played 90 seconds of it. Sanchez forward to Lo Celso. Through the legs of Kovacic. Nice pass into Winks. Finds Moura. Asking a lot of the Brazilian to bring it down without asking for a Chelsea player to try and tackle him, and he does lose out in the end in the Chelsea half, and it's Jorginho who takes it on the turn, and he finds Kovacic, his midfield partner in crime for tonight's game. Malang Sarr's been brought forward, and he has the ball. Down the line to Hudson-Odoi. Into Sarr again. Kovacic. Just over a minute left of this first half, the third quarter of this semi-final in the Carabao Cup. Chelsea could be getting to their first final since the 2018-2019 season, when they were beaten by Manchester City on penalties after a pretty entertaining 0-0 draw at Wembley. Kovacic, back it goes to halfway to Rudiger as they just try and see this first half out of this second leg with keeping possession. Remember, Chelsea don't really need a goal at this minute. They don't need to hurry for one. So they'll just keep possession, try and get in at half-time 1-0 up. And have their 3-0 lead on aggregate. Rudiger clears it up towards Werner. Back to goal, back against Tanganga. He's bullied off it, and Tanganga brings it forward. 1-2 with Moura. Tanganga works out wide left to Doherty. Not got much support on that left, so he's forced back into the Tottenham half with a pass to Davies. Winks. Kane. Looking for an option as he turns towards the halfway. And that'll be it for the first half. 3-0 on aggregate to Chelsea as they look to get to another League Cup final and another final under Thomas Tuchel. Tottenham came into this game 2 goals behind after a lacklustre first leg, and it's been pretty much the same. It's not been a great second leg either. They've been a little bit more positive, a bit more energetic, had a few half chances to try and get the crowd on board, but in terms of composure, confidence and swagger, Chelsea have had everything and above. They've been fantastic in possession, created chances, worked corners, and one of those corners on the 18th minute led to a goal. Mason Mount with an in-swinger with his right foot, peach of a ball right in the perfect area on the 6-yard line where Rudiger put his body on the line. Galini came for it, missed it, bounced off the back of Antonio Rudiger, off the bar and into the back of the net. Give Chelsea a 1-goal lead in this second leg and a 3-0 lead in the whole tie. And despite Tottenham not having as much possession, they've had more shots by 9, but they've only had 1 on target. And if they want to go through, they need to get at least 3 on target to get this game level. So at half-time, it is Tottenham 0, Chelsea 1, and Chelsea lead 3-0. On aggregate, nice first half there. I'll read the chat in a second. If you want to put anything about the game, if you've been watching it and you want to display your opinion, let me know. I don't like that with a dash. I knew that was going to happen. Half time. There we go. Callum, hello. Long time no see. I hope you're back. Then you stay. And you check out check out the other streams. I'm going back to college tomorrow. So there won't be as many commentaries, unfortunately. But I'm glad you're back for this one. We've had a good winter break commentary run. I've done quite a few. Because obviously when I'm in college, it's amazing how little time you have. Because I've said it many times, and if you're a regular viewer, you're probably sick of me here saying it, but I do quite detailed notes, I'd like to say. 5 pages of A4 nearly. 3 full pages, then 2 kind of half, because it's just, if you want to just see here, it's players that just haven't made the squad. So hold on, let me see. So like there's one. It's just not really a full page, just kind of like a quarter, just people who aren't in the matchday squad. So I've done notes for them just in case they were in the squad and they're not. So, it's a win-win. So I put them down if they're not, and if they're not, then they're there anyway, just in case I want to link to them in the game if they come up in conversation. So yeah, so with college, I have little time to do all this. So yeah, I'm off in a month for a week, so there'll definitely be 1 or 2 in that week for sure. But for the next few weeks, I'm not sure how many I can do. But like I say, we've did a decent run in this little winter 3-week break I've had. Started off with I did Liverpool Newcastle on the 16th, but when my break started, my first one was Newcastle Manchester United. That's one. Done Southampton Spurs, Manchester United Burnley, Chelsea Tottenham first leg, Lyon PSG on Sunday. That was a good game, 1-1 in that one, and then the second leg for this one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've done 7 in 3 weeks. 21. This is like 1 every 3 days, which I think is pretty decent. So, yeah, please everyone subscribe and like, because there will be commentaries always at some point. I do want to, because I've done League 1, I want to try and do every league possible this season. So, obviously done Premier League, done League Cup, Premier League, League Cup, not done FA Cup, League 1, Champions League, Championship, start of the season. So I want to do an FA Cup game, I want to do a Bundesliga game, I want to do Serie A game, try and do a La Liga if possible, but I don't know if I can, if I have the TV stuff to watch La Liga. So I want to try and get all leagues done. So Lyon was good to do, my first League Earn one. Roger Potter listening in Auckland, New Zealand. Thanks for the commentary. Thank you very much. We're worldwide at football commentaries. I'm joking. Well, I say we're joking. Majority of my audience is British, but it's a massive buzz for me when I hear people from around the world tuning in and listening in, deciding to listen to this commentary for their game. So thank you very much, Roger. Much appreciated support. The likes have gone up as well. Can't see dislikes, so hopefully no one's disliked. Hopefully I can't see them with the new change to YouTube. So all I'm seeing is likes, which is positive. If you are new, please subscribe as well. But yeah, thank you for listening in. Let me know where you're from. If anyone else watching's from somewhere far away from where I situate, let me know, because that's an interesting one. Auckland, New Zealand. I hope you're all enjoying the game as well. It's been a pretty decent half. I mean, Tottenham do need to sort their ideas out, but I think it's just one of them where Chelsea are just better, just too good for them. It's like no matter what they do, they just won't be able to beat this side. But yeah, Tanganga at fault for the first goal of this game, and he was at fault for the 2 in the first leg. So it's pretty much Tottenham 0, Tanganga 3. Lost Rudiger, and I think it just came off his back. So a fortunate finish, you could say, but like I say, he put himself in the right area to get there and put the ball in the net. So I mean, I'm not going to discredit Rudiger because it bounced off his back. He put himself in the right area and got the ball in the net. So you can ask for, in my opinion. In the Premier League, it is West Ham 1, Norwich City 0. Jared Bowen with the goal. Talks of him getting an England call up. Yeah, the contact for that Højbjerg is definitely outside the area. 100%. Personally, I think. Because when he actually goes down, theatrically, it's when he trips himself up. It's like the back of his left leg comes forward and catches the back of his right leg. So the front of his left foot takes out the back of his right foot and he goes over. But I think there's a little bit of contact from Rudiger just outside the box. I could be completely wrong and I could be waffling, and people might be disagreeing with me on social media, but that's what I can see. Unless my eyes aren't good enough and I'm missing something, I don't think that's a penalty, personally. Because it's hard, because I don't think it's a foul anyway, because the contact on Pierre-Emile Højbjerg isn't good enough anyway to go down. It isn't strong enough. So Mike Dean's obviously seen a little bit of contact on the edge of the box where he's gone, it's definitely not a penalty because he's tripped himself up. We can't overrule that you've given a foul because that's an on-field decision, so we're just going to have to go for a free kick because there was a bit of contact on the edge of the box. So I think that was a difficult one for Mike Dean. I think sometimes you've just got to genuinely just they are human. I know we say that, but they are, and just give them a bit of, because a lot of the time they are rubbish. They don't know what they're doing. But when it's like that, when it's quite tight and it's very, very subjective, you've got to give the benefit of the doubt. For me, I think he's got the right call. Some people, Tottenham fans will say he's got the wrong call. But obviously I can't hear it now, but Jamie Redknapp and Ashley Cole are on Sky Sports discussing the incident, and they're discussing it at quite a bit of length. I'm not a lip reader, so I don't know what they're saying, and I don't know what their opinion is, but it is a tight one. It's a big decision in the game to get Chelsea a little bit worried if Tottenham could have maybe got a penalty and a goal, but I think just before half time, Mike Dean, I think, has got the right decision. I think. But then again, I could be wrong from a different angle. Different angle might show something else. Just have to see. But if you've seen it, let me know. But for me, no penalty. But yeah, the second half will be getting underway in around 3 or so minutes' time. So yeah, second half's going to getting away very soon. Will we see a comeback as a neutral? I would love to see a comeback because I think it'd be exciting, but at the minute I don't think that's going to happen with Antonio Conte's Tottenham. They're not very. I just don't think. I'm not saying that they're not being positive. They are, because they are getting forward and creating some chances, but I just don't think they're good enough to get beyond this Chelsea defence. Because I feel like no matter who Chelsea put in their defence, it's always strong. They could put like Sarr in, like the back three they've got now. Thiago Silva can walk in, arguably make it stronger. Trevor Chalobah, who's out injured at the minute, he could come in. I feel like no matter what Chelsea back three you get, it's always difficult to score. No matter what three you put in there. So I can't see it, but I hope I'm wrong. And Tottenham get back in it. Kane scores a hat-trick. And we go to penalties or something. I think the West Ham Norwich game kicked off at the same time as well, so I will be keeping up to date with that. I need to keep remembering to check that result. I should have done this before the game. This is unprofessional from me, but away goals don't count. And if the scores are level, we'll have an extra 30 minutes of play and then a penalty shootout. I apologise, unprofessional. I should know that before the game, but we have time during these 15 minutes to find out information, so I've done it now, so we know. I don't know why I'm acting like there's a good possibility it goes to extra time, because I don't think it will, but I've got to be prepared for anything as a commentator. I've got to be prepared for anything, because you don't know what's going to happen next. It's the beauty of it. What do we think as well about the Chris Wood transfer to Newcastle from Burnley? Apparently it's £25 million fee overall. They did pay their £20 million release clause that he had, that I didn't know Chris Wood had. I think it'll be a great bit of business for Newcastle. I think they needed another striker with Callum Wilson always injured. Chris Wood's proven in the Premier League. Yes, he's not scored many this season, but Burnley have been great overall this season. It weakens a relegation candidate alongside bringing in someone who could definitely help Newcastle. So I think it's smart, especially for the short term anyway, for the back end of this season. I don't get why people find it confusing. They're weakening Burnley, who are in a relegation scrap, and he's their best striker. And they're also bringing the striker who is going to be working well for Newcastle because they need one. And he's done it in the Premier League in multiple seasons, Chris Wood. But due to the 3 minutes of added on time we're going to be kicking off a bit later on for this second half in 2 minutes' time now. So we had the El Clasico as well, didn't we? In the Copa del Rey, I think, Spanish Cup. So what did that end in the end? Let's check. I was gonna commentate on that, but then I said last week, and this goes for the whole game, the whole season. If I do a two-legged tie, I like to do both legs if possible. So I couldn't do that, but it's the Supercopa de España, and it's 2-2. 1-0. It was to Real Madrid at first. Vinicius Junior, 25th minute. Then Luke de Jong before half-time got an equaliser for Barcelona. Then Karim Benzema on the 72nd minute got Real Madrid back in front. And then Ansu Fati with 7 minutes to go. And you got Barcelona level again. They look to be rising again under Xavi. It will take time, but eventually it'll happen. Still half time here. It's feeling like an eternity. Let's have a look at that Ansu Fati goal. Worked from a corner, swung in, and he was on the header. Fair play. Didn't know Ansu Fati had that in his locker. A cheeky header from a cross, unmarked as well. Good goal that from Ansu Fati. Right, here we go. Second half's going to get underway. Teams are back out. Conte's ready. 52-year-old Italian. Right, here we go. So we Tottenham kicking left to right towards their home end, and Chelsea kicking right to left towards their away fans, who I feel will go absolutely crazy if they can get a goal down that end. As Tottenham kick off, they've got it to Yaphet Tanganga at right centre-back. Up high towards Kane. Misses him and Jorginho, falls to Christensen behind. Over to Rudiger, who clears with a left boot. Up towards Winks, who tries to get it towards Kane. Cleared away by Chelsea to Lukaku, nods it inside to Hudson-Odoi. Gets beyond the challenge of Winks and Emerson Royal. And Kovacic takes over and gets to Lukaku on the left. Good run by Kovacic. Lukaku, one-on-one with Emerson Royal. Tries to go on the outside. And then on the inside, does too much Lukaku and he loses the ball. And it's good defending by Emerson Royal in the end to avoid Lukaku getting a cross in, and it will be a goal kick to Tottenham. As they lose it already, Tottenham. Mason Mount picks it up. It's now Jorginho already in the Tottenham half. They are setting their stall. Chelsea. Hudson-Odoi clips it towards the far post, headed away by Ben Davies. Where's Mora? Lays it off into Højbjerg, who tries to advance forward, but Azpilicueta does not allow it. And it's now back with Chelsea on the halfway line. It's now Malang Sarr in the left centre-back area. Goes out wide to Hudson-Odoi. Back to Malang Sarr. Christensen. Azpilicueta down the right channel to Werner. Back to goal. And he releases it away from Ben Davies, who was tracking him every step he took. But again, Chelsea just settle straight back into their dominance. Their confident play. Comfortable in possession in any given situation. Jorginho wants to with Kovacic. The Croatian can burst forward. He's towards the left-hand side and he'll work it far left to Hudson-Odoi. Everything's to his right. as he works onto his right, back out onto his left. Good skill from Hudson-Odoi, clips it towards the far post where Davies didn't score the own goal this time. He headed it behind for a corner kick. There's an uproar from the Chelsea fans. Echoes around the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as their team have another chance to score from another corner, like they did in the first half. Ben Davies, the man who gave it away. Mount again, he's been on set pieces on both sides and they've been pretty dangerous every time for Mason Mount. Whipped in, good ball. Rudiger again over the bar. He was looking for a brace. Didn't find it. Got away from his man of Ben Davies. Japhet Tanganga was going for it with him. And he got beyond the Englishman. Directed it towards goal, but I think it may have come off his shoulder last, actually, which diverted it a bit wildly over the bar. Tottenham go long, headed on by Kane. Looking for Matt Doherty on the left, chasing the afters down, but it's easily and calmly guided back to the arms of Kepa Arrizabalaga. The highest market value he's ever had to Transfer Market, the website, is £54 million, and that was in 2019 when he was Chelsea's first team keeper. He was bought for 72 million. He's never even been worth that much transfer value anyway. I know they had to pay his release clause because they pretty much panicked and thought, we need a keeper. We've just saw Courtois, who's the next best young goalkeeper. And at the time it was Kepa. He did get good reviews out in Spain. He was a good goalkeeper, but obviously the price tag, his attitude got the better of him. And in the end, he's had a bit of a failed Chelsea career, really, for what his ambitions were. He never wanted to be the second choice. So yeah, it's interesting. He's bought for 72 million, and the highest market value he's ever had is 54, and that was 3 years ago now. Chelsea just knocking it about in their defence, just beating the Tottenham press, keeping it away from the team that wear white shirts, blue shorts, and socks. It's Chelsea in their full home strip tonight. Aspilicueta gets it through the gap to Mount, tries to lay it off into Werner wide right, and he does about keep it in there, the German. Well played there by Timo Werner. Was out for the second half of December of last month due to COVID. Jorginho beats Højbjerg to it. Number 5 versus number 5. Chelsea come out on top and they've worked it to Aspilicueta on the right hand side, halfway in the Tottenham half. Ball out to Werner. It's a difficult one, but he chests it down nicely and works it back to Aspilicueta. Christensen looks forward. He only scored his second Chelsea goal at the weekend against Chesterfield, a looping header. So he doesn't score many, the Danish international. He did score an absolute thunderbolt in the Euros, Andreas Christensen. You might remember against Russia. That was in one of his 6 appearances he made at the Euros. Tuchel watches on as he wants to keep his 100% record against Tottenham alive. It'll be 6 games, 6 wins, 4 wins for Chelsea, and like I said in the pre-match build-up, 2 for Dortmund in the 2016 Europa League last 16, where his Dortmund team beat Tottenham home and away. Ball looking in behind for Lukaku in the box, dealt with by Japhet Tanganga. It's now out to Doherty on the left. Plays back to Ben Davies, who clears first time up towards Kane. Can't win the header on Andreas Christensen. Tottenham trying to get it to Kane, but he's pretty isolated up front and he's not really winning many of his duels against either of the centre-halves he comes up against. It's now Mount. Hudson-Odoi on the edge of the box. Into the box to Mount on the far right. Forced backwards by Doherty. He lays it off into Aspilicueta, the captain. Across to Jorginho. Does he fancy a shot? No, across to Malang Sarr, who will shoot, and that's blocked by Lo Celso. Did the same in the first half and from Malang Sarr's shot, but he's fouled him from behind, pushed him in the back again. That also happened in the first half as well. Lo Celso pushing Malang Sarr in the back for a foul. 2 hands in the back. That's what Malang Sarr is telling the referee, Andre Mariner. Mason Mount coming over to the left-hand side to take the set piece. All of his 7 goals and 5 assists this season have come in the Premier League. Mason Mount. This is his 8th appearance against Tottenham. Mount, and he got his first ever goal contribution in that first half with that assist, as he looks for a second assist. Dealt with first about Tottenham, and they win a free kick anyway in the box. A little bit too physical there, Antonio Rudiger. Mount getting his first goal contribution against Tottenham. He'll want to get his first goal, not just goal contribution. Wanting to boost his numbers up. Antonio Conte's never won a 2-legged tie after losing the first leg, so that says a lot as well, as Lo Celso tries to get it forward into Moura, lays off into wings, through towards Kane. He may have even been off, because I think Hudson-Odoi was pushing up a bit late there, and the pass was really waywards and got nowhere near Kane. That's really poor from Harry Winks. Needs to be doing better than that. Winks, this should be better. Premier League quality midfielder. Giving the ball away like that. It's worked out to Malang Sarr for Chelsea. The Frenchman goes to Antonio Rudiger. He's only been out of the matchday squad 3 times this season. The German centre-back. Sarr, he's going to bring it forward. A lot of room to run into. Gets inside to Hudson-Odoi. Back out to Sarr. He's got a good opportunity for a cross, and I think that's why he's the centre-half. Not usually an overlapping left-sided player, because that cross has gone right out for a goal kick. Didn't even get anywhere near any players, straight over the bar. No worries for Pierluigi Gallini. Davinson Sanchez, long they go again, but it's not sticking up front. They can't play out from the back because the Chelsea press is too good, and when they go long, they can't even keep it up front anyway, because one of the Chelsea defenders wins it back. It's just a lose-lose for Tottenham and a win-win for Chelsea, and that's why they're winning this overall tie. That's why they'll be going to the final of the League Cup in a month's time to play either Liverpool or Arsenal. Ball down the channel to Werner. Gets there ahead of Davinson Sanchez in the final third. Has to go back to goal. Try to go the long way around Sanchez, and he pokes it inside to Hudson-Odoi. Once more to Kovacic. Sarr again, a lot of room on the left. Does he fancy another attempt for a cross? Doesn't have the space for it. Finds Hudson-Odoi. Lukaku's peeled out wide. Hudson-Odoi. Back to Sarr. Clipped over towards Aspilicueta on the right. Mount's got space on the right. Finds him through the pass of Christensen. One-on-one with Davies. Got the overlap of Aspilicueta. Put the crossing on his own. It's a low one. It's an easy one to deal with for Tottenham, but they've not done it very well. Back out to Mount. Lays it off to Aspilicueta. 10 minutes of the second half played. Kovacic takes it on the turn. Looks for Mason Mount in behind. Cut out by Davies. Forward by Winks to Kane. Gets away from Sarr and Rudiger. It's a 3-on-1 here. Lo Celso to his left. Moura to his right. To Moura. Heavy ball. Tackle well by Kepa. And the chance goes... Oh, he's given a penalty. That'll be overturned. That will be overturned. No way it's a penalty, and I think Lucas Moura knows it. I think Harry Kane picked the wrong choice in the end. I think he should have gone left after a great run by Kane to get beyond the Chelsea defence. I think he should have gone left to Lo Celso. He went right to Moura. He put way too much on it, and I do not understand how Andre Mariner has seen that as a foul. No way. Got the ball. No chance for me. Here we go. Moura doesn't get the ball. It's it. Never. I cannot believe he's given that a penalty. I'm sure the message from Mike Dean will be, go and look at this, mate. You've made an absolute fool of yourself. You've got it completely wrong. You'll definitely overturn this, 100%. Like I say, I think it was the wrong decision by Kane. It was a poor pass by Kane. He overhit it, where it's allowed Kepa to come out to block the run. That's nowhere near a penalty. He knows it as well. You've seen it back. VAR check. Drop ball. No penalty. You honestly didn't even need replays to check that that wasn't a penalty. You just knew watching it wasn't a penalty. 2 penalties given to Tottenham. None they've actually received, both overturned by VAR. Both, I think, rightly overturned by VAR, especially that one. I can't believe he even gave it a penalty in the first place, Andre Mariner there. That was a little bit balmy, to be honest. So we are back underway. Like I say, Tottenham denied 2 penalties, but I personally think rightly so. So they can't really use that as an excuse of why they didn't get back in this game. Just haven't been good enough over the 2 legs. Definitely attacking anyway. Conte still got a lot of work to do, but then we have to remember it is only his 14th game in charge of the club. Conte didn't win a League Cup at his time at Chelsea. How he gave that a penalty? I don't understand. As Moura goes down on the edge. Kicked away by Christensen. Didn't quite see what happened there because they were showing replays instead. But Christensen pokes it away for a corner as looked like Lucas Moura was storming forward. Giovanni Lo Celso left-footed in-swinger. It's a dangerous one. Well headed away by Christensen. Chelsea push out. Ball falls to Emerson Royal. Lo Celso, Royal, cross, corner kick. Once again, blocked by Malang Sarr. Just over half an hour to go. Plus any added on time. Tottenham 0, Chelsea 1, 3-0 on aggregate. A real comeback needed from Tottenham here if they want to turn this one around. Celso lifting more towards the far post. Kepa can't keep a hold of it. I don't think there's a foul in there. Neither does the referee. Kane to Doherty. Kane, far left. He's kept the ball alive for Tottenham and he goes inside to Højbjerg. Then out wide to Lo Celso. Left-footed ball down the line towards Tanganga, asking a lot of the centre-half. Tackled strongly by Malang Sarr. Kicks out for a throw-in for Tottenham. Good defending again by the Frenchman. Recycled to Emerson Royal on halfway. Pass forward to Winks. Across to Højbjerg. Then forward to Ben Davies. Need more attacking threat here from Tottenham. They haven't really got much of it on the bench. They could call upon Dele Alli or Bryan Hill. As Ben Davies charged down the left. Azpilicueta slipped. Allows Ben Davies room to cross. Emerson Royal with the header. Great save by Kepa. Cleared with the left boot of Callum Hudson-Odoi, but not convincingly enough. Edge of the box. Winks. Lifted cross. Well headed away by Rudiger. Back towards Winks. He lays it off into Lo Celso. The chance is still alive here. Lo Celso. Højbjerg. Kane. Turns forward. Plays it through to Emerson Royal. Too much on it. Not on the same wavelength. Emerson Royal went to make the run. He didn't think Kane saw it, so he kind of stopped. Kane then did see it. Went for it, and then it was too late. But Ben Davies, great cross. Capitalising on the Azpilicueta slip. Got good pace on it. It was a good header as well by Emerson Royal. Did get it to the side of Kepa, forcing him to make a half-decent save. I think it's a save you expect him to make. But a save he had to make nonetheless. He's definitely improved a lot as a goalkeeper, Kepa, since becoming number 2. Just that less pressure on him. As Tottenham try and come forward again. Højbjerg to Kane. Back to goal. Works away from Kovacic and Rudiger. And slots it through to Emerson Royal. On the right. This pass needs to be right. He dinks it over. And what on earth is that? Højbjerg was brought down in the box off the ball. Referee didn't see it, and neither did I. They go again, though. Ben Davies, better cross. Oh, well dealt with by Christensen near post. Still in the box, still alive. Kane, Lo Celso shoots. Christensen box again to the edge. Much pressure by Jorginho. He nicks it off Kane. Works with Lukaku to try and get it forward. And he keeps it on that left Lukaku. And my word, Emerson Royal, what on earth is that cross? Many people spoke about how Emerson Royal in that right wing back position just isn't good enough at crossing to play the position. And that one was so poor over everyone. If you just drilled it along the ground towards the near post, Moura's coming in, looking for it. Chelsea now try and just get a bit of control back in the game for themselves. Sarr clips the ball in up front towards Lukaku. Bullying Tanganga off the ball and losing out though in the end. Tottenham throw-in taken quickly. 2 Winks in the Tottenham half. Tries to switch, blocked nicely by Mount, but it falls back to the keeper, Pierre Luigi Galini. Like I say, last week he was once at Manchester United's under-18s back in 2012, left in 2014, and also spent a 2-year stint at Aston Villa in 2016 to 2018 as Kepa's gone for this. He'll deal with it. Sweeper keeper Kepa. As he has the ball back now after receiving it from the Italian Jorginho, who's the penalty expert, but he's not quite had one in this tie, and I don't think we will be going to a penalty shootout in this game anyway. Halfway line is Werner. Lays it back into Azpilicueta, falls backwards to Christensen through the half-decent Tottenham press. Kepa, Jorginho gets caught out there. Moore is on the edge. Kepa's out of his box. Falls to Kane, slots it into the bottom left corner. No offside flag from the Tottenham captain. And an error between Kepa and Jorginho allows a chance for Tottenham, and they've taken it with their goal-scoring Harry Kane. They've whacked his goals in the first bit of the season, but at the beginning of the second half of the season, he's really picked up his form. He's scoring goals, but it's all come from a Tottenham press, which has led to a Chelsea error. Kepa short pass to Jorginho, caught out by Højbjerg. It fell to Moura, and ooh, here we go. As Kepa was right on the edge of the box after trying to make up for his error, I said he was on the edge, on the outside of the box. He was just on the edge of the box, and as he was so far near the edge of the box, Kane's in front of the keeper, and that will be offside. Offside. Moore on the edge, played it forward to Kane, who was free, but he was a little bit too eager to get Tottenham back in this game, and that will be offside. Like I say, Kepa was in absolute no man's land there as he made the error, and like I said, he was up towards the edge of the box trying to make up for his error. Moura knocked it wide right. And here we go. Antonio Conte really frustrated at fourth official Robert Jones, who's having none of it as he puts the board up for the Tottenham change, which they're going to make. Matt Doherty, the left wing-back, he's going to be replaced by the other left wing-back on the bench, Ryan Sessegnon. They're both deputising for the absence of Sergio Reguilon. So the 21-year-old comes in. He's been at Spurs since 2019. He's had a stop-and-start career. Last season he was on loan at Hoffenheim. This is only his 20th Spurs appearance. Ryan Sessegnon. There's the free kick's gone up towards Lukaku. Header won by Yaphet Tanganga, and the ball's gone out here and right to the feet of the Chelsea change of Hakim Ziyech, but he's going to come on alongside two others. Triple change for Chelsea. First one, number 4, is coming off. Andreas Christensen. He's going to be replaced by Thiago Silva, who's returning from his first game back after having COVID. Missed the first leg because of it. So Christensen, after scoring his second goal in a Chelsea shirt on the weekend, he's done a shift on this Wednesday night. Let's have a look at the other changes as well. As Marcos Alonso's come on. So Werner off for Alonso, and Mason Mount off for Hakim Ziyech. Mason Mount, it only took him 8 games, but he finally gets a goal contribution against Spurs. So I presume now Malang Sarr will be a left centre-back and a left centre-back only. I don't think we'll be seeing any more Malang Sarr overlapping runs. Now Alonso's on the left wing-back. Ziyech will just replace where Mount was. And then obviously straight swap for Thiago Silva as well, with Andreas Christensen as Azpilicueta. So that keeps it in on the right in his own half, and he kicks it right down the line, which will mean Davinson Sanchez has to give chase and restart now as they're in the 18-yard box with Yaphet Tanganga. He's had a shocking tie. I think every goal, you could definitely point the blame towards him. Kovacic, great slide challenge. Hudson-Odoi inside towards Lukaku. Back heel, finds Ziyech as he shrugs off Højbjerg. Shot once by Ziyech, loses out a second time to Sanchez. And a chance goes missing again for Chelsea, who want to try and double their lead. Kane holds up nicely from the ball forward. Looking out wide right to Emerson Royale, and he'll find him. He brings it down, lifts it into Lo Celso, asking too much of the Argentine to keep it for Tottenham, but they do win it back. Winks in midfield on the ball. Højbjerg, 23 minutes left, plus any added on time. That is a blue wall that you wouldn't like to face of Chelsea. Very defensive and very good defensively. Ben Davies, ball through to Kane. Does he come from an offside position? No, he's not. Gets it wide left to Ryan Sessegnon, and then the flag goes up. I said, was he offside? And it took a bit too long to flag Harry Kane there. As West Ham, Norwich is still 1-0 to West Ham, 70th minute. Jared Bowen scored in the 42nd minute. So that would put West Ham into 4th. Marcus Alonso, fresh off the bench after getting some rest time against Chesterfield and tonight as well. Coming on a little bit later than usual. Oh, ball found to Lukaku. Good flick onto Hudson-Odoi. He'll chase it down the left. Work onto his right foot. Edge of the box. Does he fancy a strike? You know, he goes for a cross towards Aspilicueta on the far side. Tries to head it inside. Chiellini catches. But he goes out for a goal kick. It had already gone out, but it came off Aspilicueta last, and I think the Spaniard disagrees slightly. Tottenham, poor clearance. Rudiger finds it in the Tottenham half. That's how deep Tottenham are currently camped. They can't get out their own half. Jorginho finds Kovacic on the opposite side. Oh, nice ball through the line to find Hudson-Odoi. Back towards Kovacic. Just keeping it simple, Chelsea. Like I say, they don't have to overcomplicate it that much because they've got the big advantage they need. Ziyech. Out to Alonso in the final third. We know he can cross it. What a cross, but we know Lukaku can finish a lot better than that. Would have been a tremendous finish because he hit it on the left foot volley. It would have absolutely taken the net down if that had gone on target and it went in the back of the net. Well, good find from Alonso. Put it in the space that was in the box, but Lukaku didn't catch it like he would have wanted to, and he blazed it over the bar. Another attacking change for Tottenham. It's going to be the Spaniard Bryan Gil, signed from Sevilla in the summer. He'll be coming on in a little while because we're going to keep the game going for now as Harry Kane flicks on the goal kick. Ryan Sessegnon will give chase to the edge of the box, but Kepa's there first, and he plays it out to the right centre half of Cesar Aspilicueta. Long ball forward towards Lukaku, won by Davinson Sanchez, the former Ajax player, but can only head it out of play for a Chelsea throw-in. And here comes the change. Number 18, Giovanni Lo Celso, will be replaced by more natural winger Bryan Gil. Out with COVID versus West Ham in the quarter-final at this ground. He's yet to score this season, wanting his first Tottenham goal. Aspilicueta with a throw-in. Towards Ziyech, brings it down, gets away from Sessegnon, but his pass doesn't get away from Winks. Good interception by the Englishman. And the ball's been forced back towards Davinson Sanchez, who clears it up the pitch. Bryan Gil loses out to Sarr. Winks to Kane. Heads it on to Moura. Could be an attack on here for Tottenham. Gets beyond Antonio Rudiger. Finds Ryan Sessegnon out wide. Checks back on the edge of the box. Tries to get a left-footed ball through. Was never going to work. Loses out and then catches Jorginho late. Free kick on the edge of the box for Chelsea. Poor from Sessegnon. Got in a great area, but then he tried a pass that was too cute with the left foot. Didn't get the power on it. And easily intercepted. And Chelsea went on to win the free kick. There he is, Daniel Levy. Apparently, I'm hearing there's sources that Tottenham are Tottenham are struggling to put good money out there in the transfer market, so they're going to have to look for loans when they could have had about 120 million for Harry Kane in the summer. And you could argue that Kane hasn't really done enough to warrant Tottenham not selling him on for that 120 million, where they could have improved massively in other areas. Lucas Moura gets it now. There's a run being made to the left of Sessegnon. He finds him. This cross needs to be good. It's deflected off of Azpilicueta to the far post, where it's cleared by Alonso. Ziyech can't keep it in on the far right for Chelsea, so Tottenham will have a throw-in on their far left. Højbjerg works it back out to Ben Davies on the left, the man who did win the League Cup in 2013 with Swansea. His last goal came in the quarter-final of last season's League Cup against Stoke away. Kane battles for it and finds Emerson Royal, or nearly did, but he goes to Bryan Hill instead. Trying to get onto his strong left foot on the right-hand side. He does, and he works to Winks on the edge. Back to Hill. Does he fancy a shot? Oh, no, looks for a pass instead in the box, but it's only found Hakim Ziyech, who will try and send Lukaku away on the right-hand side. It's been a great battle throughout these two legs, Sanchez versus Lukaku. And Sanchez comes out the winner that time. Tottenham are running out of time. They've come back before in games where you just think that it's over. Remember Ajax in the semi-final of the Champions League 3 seasons ago. For that Lucas Moura hat-trick, anything is possible. Højbjerg commanding Davies to drive this ball forward, and he'll do just that. And he'll poke it through to Ryan Sessegnon, former Fulham man. Winks. Hill's made a bit of room, but decides to go for Tanganga instead. Out wide to Emerson Royal. Pressured by Marcus Alonso, but he gets it inside to Winks. Once more to Højbjerg. Back out wide right to Yaphet Tanganga, the furthest man back for Tottenham. Bryan Hill keeps it in. Oh, nearly completes a 1-2 with Winks, but it's cleared out of play by Chelsea man, so Tottenham will keep possession with a throw-in. Emerson Royal with a throw-in for Tottenham just inside the Chelsea half. Emerson Royal loses out from the throw-in. That's a throw-in for Chelsea. Couldn't keep it in after getting the return. And it looks like there's going to be another return for another player. I think they're discussing it, Tuchel. And he will be coming on. So the 2 players out with COVID from last week are now returning. Oh, he's not going to make the change yet. N'Golo Kante is going to be coming on. But Chelsea took the throw in first. Kane wins it back from Jorginho, who's messing around with it. And Kovacic just put it right into the sky. And Kane will help it on towards Højbjerg. Nodded forward to Moura. Out-strengthened by Rudiger. Great defending by the German. Really good defending for the man who, like I say earlier on in this game, he's out of contract in the summer. He's a free agent. Clearance from Chelsea. They can't keep it. Hudson-Odoi tried to flick it on, but it fell to a Tottenham man. Play through to Moura. Helped on to Højbjerg. Looks for Kane in behind, but the pass isn't right. Emerson Royal, though, nicks it in the box for Tottenham, but then loses out to Sarr. Cleared unconvincingly by Rudiger, but thankfully for him, fell to Kovacic, who's then fouled by both Højbjerg and Winks. And again, the attack dies down, but that should have been better. Kane should have been played through. The quality of the pass needs to be better. Happened a few times so far where the quality of the pass just hasn't been good enough for Tottenham in the forward position. So here comes the change. It's going to be just a straight swap. Mateo Kovacic will be leaving the pitch. A man who suffered with injury and COVID during the months of November and December of last year. He'll be replaced by number 7 N'Golo Kante, who did miss the first leg and the FA Cup tie against Chesterfield due to having COVID. So the Frenchman comes on. Does have the 1 goal in this competition, and that was in that semi-final in the 2018-2019 season at Stamford Bridge in the second leg, where I think his shot went through a mass amount of people, and it nutmegged 3 Tottenham players. Obviously, Chelsea went on to go through that semi-final. And here comes to Kante on the edge of the box. Works out to Ziyech, another substitute. Towards Lukaku, cut out. Only as far as Kante sweeps it back out wide to Azpilicueta. He must fancy a cross, he does. As far as Ben Davies, who heads away towards Bryan Gil. Winks, chips it in towards Harry Kane, loses out to Sarr, and it'll be Thiago Silva to sweep up the mess and get Chelsea back playing forward. Kante touching it just a bit behind Jorginho, and it can be picked up by Moura. He's running at goal here. He's got support of Bryan Gil. The run goes missing, and Chelsea get good numbers back, and the chance is pretty much gone unless they can create a better chance. Good work from Emerson Royal and Bryan Gil on the right, and the cross comes in straight down the throat of Kepa. Kane made his run too late. The ball was already collected by the Spaniard. Jorginho back to Kepa. Ooh, slice clearance with the left foot, and he'll fall straight to the right wing of Bryan Gil. Heavy touch allows Marcus Alonso to try and get there. He battles with Emerson Royal. And Tottenham come out of it with Bryan Gil. Gets the ball inside to Winks. Back out to Gil again. Winks on the edge, left foot. Why on earth is he shooting from there? On his weak foot, about 25 yards out. He's not even known for shooting on his strong foot, never mind his weak foot. And I think Winks is going to come off here for Oliver Skipp, because Winks tonight has been absolutely dreadful. There's a reason he hasn't been in the England squad for about a year and 4 months. Every time I watch him, I think he's the most just boring player. He does the odd good pass, but other than that, he's so basic, and even when it's basic, he takes about 5 touches on the ball, Winks. He'll get found out, and Conte won't take any prisoners. He'll just get rid of him if he's not good enough. Change not be made yet, because Chelsea will take their goal kick first, which has been headed away by Tottenham, only as far as Malang Sarr, who plays the ball forward to Alonso, down the line to Hudson-Odoi. Can he get away from Tanganga? He does, and then brought down, and that'll be a free kick. Too smooth with it. Callum Hudson-Odoi for Tanganga's liking. Hudson-Odoi just pulled down there. Hudson-Odoi does have a brother, Bradley, who played in non-league for the majority of his career. Striker, he's now retired. He's a little bit older than Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi is still only at the age of 21. And he's making his 120th appearance for Chelsea tonight. Ziyech just stood over it on the left-hand side. He's got an unbelievable left foot, the Moroccan. As Andre Marin just going to pause plays. There's a little bit of shoving and barging going on in the box. Azpilicueta trying to make a nuisance of himself here. Andre Marin is trying to tell people to calm down. We've got 7 minutes to go, plus added on time. This would be a dagger in the heart of Tottenham here if this goes in. Ziyech, poor cross. Goes all the way across to Jorginho, who volleys well over the bar. The original cross was headed away at the near post by Moura, all the way to the edge of the box to the right-hand side to Jorginho. As it looks like Loftus-Cheek will be coming on, and number 8's up again. And that's for Winks, so Tottenham are making a change as well. Yes, because Skipp came on right. Harry Winks off for Oliver Skipp, number 29, who's been the better midfielder this season anyway, and I think that'll stick now. I don't think Winks has done enough to get a first-team spot in this team. So Oliver Skipp comes on. 21-year-old, the man who got promotion with Norwich last season in the Championship. And then Jorginho, number 5, will be coming off and be replaced by number 12, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who took the armband for a little bit of the game against Chesterfield near the end. The man who's got 10 England caps, 3 of them in the World Cup of 2018. Wonder if he'll find his way back in the England team anytime soon, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. But we know Harry Kane will be. And he's currently got the ball, and he's held it up, and he's brought Højbjerg into play. Out wide to Ryan Sessegnon. Can he deliver a cross? With Azpilicueta, with company, he'll hit it against him, and it'll roll for a easy catch for Kepa. Should have at least won a corner there. Ryan Sessegnon, good defending though by Azpilicueta. Doing his job nicely. And the club captain. been over a year now. Well, I've lied. Just under 12 months as well for Azpilicueta since his last goal. Came on the 31st of January of last year against Burnley in the league in a home win. Ziyech, bit of a loose control, and Tanganga can take over and drive forward beyond Kante. Fronts into a brick wall of Thiago Silva and loses out. Should have really tried to release it. Marcos Alonso. He'll look to release it, and he finds Hudson-Odoi wide left. Gets the cross in. It's a dangerous one. Had to be just parried away by Galini. It'd be picked up by Ryan Sessegnon on the edge of the 18-yard box, but his pass is too poor. Fell straight to Antonio Rudiger instead of Lucas Moura. And Rudiger's been pulled down here, but not enough for a foul. Højbjerg can clear. Up towards Kane, ends up on the deck with Thiago Silva. Then he wins the free kick here. Harry Kane. He's definitely felt that one between his right leg. Not a great record for Harry Kane against Chelsea. It's now appearance number 19 against the Blues, and he's only bagged 6 goals. To get 2 goals and 2 assists in a 5-3 win back in the 2014-2015 season at White Hart Lane, when he was really making his name, bursting onto the scene. 83.5 minutes played. It's 1-0 Chelsea on the night, 3-0 in aggregate. Tottenham have been okay, but not good enough, especially against a side like Chelsea. Maybe against a team like Morecambe at the weekend, they'll get away with lacklustre performances. Lucas Moura works out to substitute Oliver Skipp, number 29, on the far right. Down line it goes to Emerson Royale. He'll keep it in. He'll try and get it in the box, but I somehow hit the first man. Headed away by Malang Sarr. Alonso tries to deal with it. Clears it off Brian Hill. And that'll be a throw-in for Chelsea. Emerson Royale can't cross for his life. He seriously can't. Matt Doherty's clearly out of favour on that right-hand side position. So they've only really got Emerson Royale to play the wing-back role, unless they try Doherty on his favoured side. But Emerson, crossing-wise, is just unbelievably poor. Loftus-Cheek will bring it away for Chelsea. Azpilicueta is making a marauding run down the right. Decides to go short to Kante. Forward to Ziyech. First-time touch back into the Frenchman, N'Golo Kante, who's looking for his 10th win against Spurs in his 18th game against them. N'Golo Kante. Free kick for Chelsea, centre of the pitch. Azpilicueta, Kante, round the corner to Lukaku, back to goal, holds it up, brings Azpilicueta into play towards the halfway line. Lifted forward towards Lukaku, it'll nearly fall to Ziyech. Won by Davinson Sanchez and gives away the throw-in. 5 minutes to go. Stop in play here by Andre Mariner. Not sure why at the minute. Oh no. Looks like a medical emergency again. The fans in that home end to the right are lifting their arms like this to alert the medical staff of where the incident is. It's been happening a lot so far on the return to football with fans. So players being stopped to allow medical attention as the players and other supporters look towards that stand to the east of where we watch the game. Still got 3.5 minutes to play of the 90, then plus added on time. We'll obviously get a bit of a chunk of added on time now. And depending on how long this takes to deal with, I'm sending my prayers and wishes to the person affected here. Obviously, I can't hear too much information, so I'm not sure what's going on. But I just know there's been a stop in play due to a medical emergency. Andre Mariner, I'm presuming, is working with one of the match officials of Tottenham to try and get some communication to see what's going on. What's the best protocol for the players on the pitch. But the only goal of the game so far in this second leg's come from Antonio Rudiger. He scored in the 3-0 away win they got in the league this season at this ground, and he scored here again from a set piece from Mason Mount. That's in the 18th minute, but the majority of the work was done in the first leg by Chelsea to get that 2-goal advantage at home. Havertz with an early goal, and then one just before the break with a Ben Davies own goal after a failed clearance by Yaphet Tanganga. But yeah, we're just getting pictures of just players on the pitch, then the odd show of Thomas Tuchel, who's wanting to get his 35th clean sheet in his 64th Chelsea game. Now, almost averaging more than a clean sheet every game. The defensive record has been so good. He's conceding less than one a game in his career at Chelsea. He's managed 63 games. He's only conceded 51. This is now game 64 as well. So play continues to be halted. You can't say Tottenham's not tried. The areas have appeared. They've nearly got in behind a couple times, but just that last pass has just evaded them. That little bit of quality. As Azpilicueta just has a chat with one of the officials. What I say, it's Edward Smart, but it could even be Scott Ledger. Shall we have a look? Who is that? It's Edward Smart. Referee. Cyclist as well. Okay, so it's not Eddie Smart. That is Scott Ledger he's talking to. Again, I should really write little notes about the assistant referees. Or at least check what they look like before a game. You know, learning on it's all experience, this. It's all about experience. Yeah, it's just happened towards the centre of the stand, actually. It's towards the main exit, which is a good thing. There's many exits, actually, in that main stand for Tottenham. Hopefully, everyone there is okay. Like I say, it's happened quite often since the return of fans. We have 30 seconds into the 90 minutes. Not yet had any information on what's happening in the stands. Hopefully everyone's okay. And then we don't know how much he's added on. Harry Kane's having a discussion with Andre Mariner. Not sure if he's discussing why the game has to be stopped. I'm not sure. I mean, I feel like we need full focus on that medical attention, so it's right to stop the game completely. Make sure, because imagine if you're doing such medical acts to save someone's life, possibly, and then like Tottenham score. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully he's not saying that, because he looks pretty annoyed. It looks like, I could be completely wrong, but it looks like he's trying to gesture to get the game going again, but don't take my word for that. I could be completely wrong. The game between West Ham and Norwich is 2-0. 3rd minute of added on time. Bowen with a brace. Could he be in the England squad? Andre Mariner is back on the pitch. Thank you to everyone who is still here. Please like and subscribe. And it does look like we're going to get the game back underway. So hopefully that emergency has been dealt with and everyone's healthy and safe. Fingers crossed. But a lot of Spurs fans have now started to empty the stadium themselves, because obviously the game's over now. 2 minutes into the 90. We've not yet found out how much is going to be added on. I presume around 7 or 8 minutes, because obviously you'll have an idea of added on time before the incident, and then added on the 4 minutes or 5 minutes we've had due to the incident. So I'll let you know as soon as the added on time goes up. But like I say, it's been routine from Chelsea. They've shown exactly why they are as good as they are and why they're European champions at the minute. It's been better than Tottenham, better quality than Tottenham, and we knew that. But in both legs, they've just been very professional and got on with the job that they needed to do. Playing around the back here, Tottenham with Emerson Royal at right wing back. Inside to skip, first time clearance, not very convincing at all. Sarr heads it down into Kante, just gets a little bit muddled up there with his touches and then has to foul Højbjerg in the process. 8 minutes added on. We've played 3 minutes of it, so we've got 5 minutes left. Ben Davies bundled to the ground on halfway. So that'll be a free kick as well. And he kicks back to Davinson Sanchez. Bryan Gil lays it off into Skip. Moura, centre of the pitch, works it back out. And it'll be to Emerson Royal on the far right. He's got Bryan Gil in support. 1-2 with him. Back with the Brazilian. Kane. Bryan Gil to Skip. Can they at least get a consolation goal for the fans? Tanganga into Kane. Back to goal in the box. Tries to turn and shoot. Blocked by Malang Sarr. Out to Marcos Alonso, who can then get it cleared down the line. Did it nick off Emerson Royal? Did it? No, it didn't. It'll be a Tottenham throw-in. Skipping his own half. Being forced back by the press of Ziyech. Now with Sanchez, Ziyech will keep the press on going. It's all the way back to now to Pierluigi Gallini. Goes wide left towards Sessegnon. Can flick it on, but only out for a throw-in. Got just under 4 minutes left of added on time. It's the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Ziyech tries to head it through towards Lukaku. Blocked off and it falls back to the feet of Kante. Alonso. Malang Sarr. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, the substitute, being pulled to the ground, but even though he's on the ground, he still kicks it out of his feet and for a pass as Chelsea continue the move. Azpilicueta inside to N'Golo Kante on the edge. He also scored at this ground in the win earlier on the season in the Premier League, but he tries to slot through Lukaku instead. Cut out by Sanchez. Cleared up to Rudiger as he moved the ball away from Lucas Moura. 3 minutes left. Loftus-Cheek is Chelsea. Could go for another goal here. They've got nothing to lose. They're going through. Nonetheless, Hudson-Odoi tries to get beyond Tanganga, but Tanganga says no. Bryan Gil clipped there. Foul for Tottenham in their own half. Højbjerg takes it quickly back to his goalkeeper, Pierluigi Gallini. Edge of the 18-yard box is Davinson Sanchez. Crosser goes to Ben Davies. Sessegnon. Can't find a pass because it's been blocked by the good pressing of Azpilicueta. Both sides have had 13 shots in this game, so a lot better from Tottenham compared to the first leg, but still no goals and still conceded. Thiago Silva, a 37-year-old, signed a new contract extension on the 3rd of January of this year up until 2023. Did play around 40 minutes in the Champions League final, then had to be brought off with injury. Here's a pass forward, can be collected by Gallini. Rolls it in front of his feet on the edge of the 18-yard box and gets the ball forward and he slips. As he takes it, I'm sure he would have got some abuse there from the away fans. And his kick doesn't even find a Tottenham man. It's now with Malang Sarr. Back to Kepa in the 6-yard area. Kane will try and press it, but he works it back out to Malang Sarr in the left-back area towards the corner flag. Gets it up the field. Headed forward by Tanganga. At least Hudson-Odoi as he uses his arm to gain an advantage there. Not on purpose, but his arm was in an unnatural area. And the ball did touch it, so that'll be a free kick for Tottenham, taking quickly. Skip shifts it out to Lucas Moura. They've got over a minute to at least get a consolation. Into Kane, trying to hold it up. Too many plays around him, but then the ball bobbles back to him. He shoots from afar. Blocked by Malang Sarr. Comes out to Emerson Royale on the right. Can he work across? Try to shift it to Brian Hill. Too slow. And that'll go out for a throw-in for Tottenham. Good block. An interception there by N'Golo Kante. Emerson Royale throws it into the box towards Højbjerg. It'll be dealt with by Thiago Silva, but he sliced it away for a corner. And with 35 seconds to go, you feel like this will be the last event of the match. Brian Hill, left-footed in swinging ball from the Spaniard. Towards the near post, goes all the way through. Clear by Loftus-Cheek towards Sessegnon. Helps it forward, headed away by Kante. Brought down by Kane on the left-hand side of the box. Tries to turn Azpilicueta. He does and just about keeps it in. Tries to go past Rudiger and it falls to Ryan Sessegnon. Great save, Kepa. Out for a corner. We have played the 8 minutes of added on time. And we will have time for the corner. So close, Kane. Great run around Azpilicueta. Got beyond Rudiger. Pulled it back to Sessegnon, who got the shot away, but Kepa with a great save, clinging onto the clean sheet. Ball in, pushed away by the Spaniard to the edge of the box. And that'll do for Andre Mariner. And the game ends Tottenham 0, Chelsea 1, and Chelsea are heading to Wembley. They've not reached a League Cup final since 2019, and that ended in defeat, and they'll want to revenge the Devils of that final, which saw them lose on a penalty shootout to Manchester City. But for Spurs, it will be another year without a trophy. They've still got the FA Cup, but you won't put them down as favourites, especially if they can't perform against Chelsea, because they're the teams you have to beat in the FA Cup semi-final and final. They're definitely not going to win the Premier League, so it's looking like it could be another trophyless season for Tottenham. They're missing quite a few players, but their squad depth's so strong, it doesn't really matter. Over the 2 legs, Tottenham weren't good enough, improved in the second leg, but still nowhere near good enough to beat such a strong and resolute Chelsea side. They are the European champions for a reason, and they've shown why. They're through to another final. And like I say, they try and win their 3rd trophy under Thomas Tuchel. They've won him a Champions League, they've won him a Super Cup in Europe, and they're going to look to add a League Cup to the trophy cabinet under this German mastermind who's come in straight away a year and a bit ago, it feels, and he's just revolutionised Chelsea with this back three. He literally came in, first game, changed to that back three system he wanted to play, and from there, he's had great success, and it was just too much for Tottenham. Great commentary, cheers mate, thank you very much for everyone who's been here. Like and subscribe. Like I say, I'm going back to college tomorrow, so commentaries won't be as often, unfortunately, but anytime I see a gap where I can get one done, I'll definitely be doing one. So make sure you like, subscribe, follow the Instagram as well in the description, where I update everyone on when the next commentary is. So yeah, the Chelsea fans stay in the away end to celebrate a cup final and a journey to Wembley. Great night for those Chelsea supporters. They've enjoyed 2 games in 1 week versus one of their fiercest rivals of Spurs, and they've won both times, and very convincingly as well. 2 clean sheets in that time as well for Kepa Arrizabalaga. That's now 5 clean sheets in 8 appearances this season. He's played all the minutes so far in this League Cup campaign, and he will continue to do so, I presume, all the way to the final. That is it for this commentary. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you are new. Like I say, Tottenham weak, Chelsea strong. Rudiger with the goal tonight. 3-0 on aggregate. Deserved from Chelsea. They march to Wembley in 5 weeks' time for the final, where they'll face either Liverpool or another London club in Arsenal in the final to win a 3rd trophy under Thomas Tuchel.